All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing this week? Just confirming you guys can all hear me. Welcome to Wednesday Side Quest for February 23rd, 2022. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's had a good hump day so far. Have a good week so far. So if you're familiar with SideQuest, this is my weekly TLDR kind of gaming news live stream. Just talk about the biggest gaming news for the last week. There will be a question period at the very end of the live stream. So if you have any channel questions, just save them for the end because we try to get through the news portion as quickly as we possibly can. And that way people can get their TLDR news, and then we'll save all the questions and channel update stuff for the end of the live stream. So welcome in, everyone. And let's start by talking about, let's see here. That's not correct. Sorry. There we go. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened there. Okay, anyways, let's start off with our channel member shoutouts. So thank you to our tier 4 as well as tier 5 channel members who their channel memberships go directly to supporting the content of this channel. So big thank you to Austin, DINA, Fast Vlogs, as well as Positive Sarcasm. If you guys want to learn more about channel memberships, you can check out the link in the description below. But yeah, let's jump right into the news portion. That's why you're here. That's why you are here. I have no idea why this isn't showing up now. There it is. So first news options for this week is that we'll talk about the brand new games that are available for PlayStation Plus members for the month of March. So these are free games that you get with your PlayStation Plus memberships. We have Ark Survival Evolved, Ghost of Tsushima Legends. Quick thing to note is that is not the single player. This is not a single player game. It is the multiplayer option of the game. So it will not give you access to the single player of the game because it's still relatively new to be offering it for free. So if you want to check out the multiplayer for Ghost of Tsushima, you can check it out this month free on PlayStation Plus for March. And then we have Grand Theft Auto Online. For some reason you can get that. I thought Grand Theft Auto, I don't know, you had to buy GTA 5, I guess. So yeah. And you also have Team Sonic Racing as well as Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner is only available on PS5. It is the only one that is not backwards compatible with PlayStation 4 systems. So yeah, those are your free games for PlayStation Plus for March. We'll probably hear what's free next month for Xbox, probably in next week's side quest. But yeah, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you can try out these games. Next thing, just kind of sticking with the big S. So they released pictures of the next PlayStation VR headset, the VR2. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, how they announced that we're still heavily investing into PlayStation VR. So if you guys are interested in VR at all, this is what the new headset as well as the controllers look like. You can still see that it still requires a cable, so you will still be dongled to your PlayStation in some sort of way. But in all honesty, looking at these things, it just makes me look high. Anytime I look like a PlayStation or VR hardware, it just makes me look tired. Just looking at them, putting on the headset, and then the Joy-Con-esque controllers is just. I'm still skeptical on VR overall in general. I'm not a huge fan of VR just because I like to sit comfortably, and there's still not that many killer games that are being developed for VR. I think that's probably the biggest hurdle that they have to overcome, is actually making substantial and worthwhile games for the VR system. Until they do that, it's just very expensive. It requires a lot of room. It's the same knocks on VR as we always expected. let me know what you guys think of PlayStation VR. Next big news item is that Nintendo is ending download support for virtual games on the Nintendo Wii U as well as 3DS. Nintendo, terrible online. Like, it started with the Wii and continuing with the Wii U and now the 3DS. Their online store is like at least a decade behind everyone else. And what you find is that if you invested into the virtual games from the very beginning, you're just going to be constantly buying and rebuying virtual games over and over again, just because every time they release a new generation of consoles, they release a new eShop. So I highly recommend, if you are into retro type gaming, don't do it on Nintendo. Just try to maybe buy a physical console, because their support for their online infrastructure is honestly terrible, and they're just in the business of reselling you copies of the game over and over and over again. And there is good reason for this. I read a couple of articles kind of explaining why they are doing this, and the biggest reason is that it just comes down to money. So the majority of the Nintendo users, 90% I read somewhere, are on Switch already, and the Nintendo Switch has 90 million install base, whereas the Wii U as well as 3DS only accounts for 1% of the amount of users that are currently on those platforms. So the biggest issue is just support, because with any online infrastructure, you have to continually support it with security updates, just so you don't have data leaks for users' credit card information, users' personal information, and all that. And all that just comes down to money. Supporting those systems with money and resources to just keep them secure is a lot of cash that, if you weigh it to the install base, the amount of people actually using those platforms, is just the costs greatly outweigh the benefits, which makes perfectly sense. But this is something that we've been dealing with for years now with Nintendo and their online virtual store, that it doesn't make financial sense if you're a hardcore gamer who likes retro gaming, just to continually support buying games on their virtual store, just because with every console generation they don't do a great job of consolidating everything and all your purchases. So I'm thinking probably it's going to be next generation that they're going to have an online store where everything that you buy, and from then on moving forward, you'll have access to the future. I expect the exact same thing to happen with the Switch of this generation, that if you buy stuff on the Switch, it won't carry over, but it's probably going to be their next platform, whatever it's called, whatever console. We talked about Resident Evil 4 remake last week. I was expecting Capcom to announce it, because they had their kind of press release kind of deal where everyone was expecting them to release information on the Resident Evil 4 remake. Instead, we got a teaser trailer for the next Street Fighter 6. When I was jumping online and kind of just perusing through all the screenshots, so like I saw screenshots of this foot, so I immediately thought it was like, but there was like no context to it. And then we had like a picture of Ryu's head. I honestly thought at first it was like a Marvel thing, and it was basically like the Hulk, but it ended up being Ryu. So they completely took the actual design of Street Fighter into like different territory. Doesn't that look like the Hulk? The Hulk like grew a goatee. It's just like, I don't know. It does not. This to me doesn't look like Street Fighter anymore, in my personal opinion. So yeah, Street Fighter 6 is coming out eventually. Don't have a firm release date on it yet, but it is in production. And I'm not a huge fighting game fan, but yeah, for all you fighting game fans out there, it kind of actually does look like Chris Redfield. It kind of, you guys can look forward to Street Fighter 6. Okay, the main story for this week is that yesterday, Activision Blizzard announced that for the very first time in over a decade, probably, that there will be no Call of Duty in mainline Call of Duty in 2023. They will be skipping it. So 2023, if you take a look at the cycle of developers, 2023 was going to be Treyarch's year. So usually with every Call of Duty game, one specific studio gets dedicated to making the game. So 2023 was supposed to be the year of Treyarch, which is their premier studio of developing Call of Duty. Pretty much ever since the release of Black Ops and the departure of the original founders of Infinity Ward to EA, Treyarch has kind of taken the mantle up as the best Call of Duty developer, according to fans. So yeah, it's going to be skipping 2023. This news was broken by Bloomberg News yesterday, and basically they said that it was due to the fact that the Activision executives saw that Vanguard, last year's Call of Duty, didn't sell as well as they wanted to. The sales were down 36% in the UK. This is a Eurogamer article, so all their numbers are basically based on United Kingdom and United Union. But you can probably safe to assume that those numbers translate to North America as well. So Vanguard did not, despite being the best-selling game of 2021, Vanguard sales were down 36% from the previous Call of Duty in the previous year. And one thing to note, that Jason Schreier also noted this as well as that. So my initial thoughts was that this was like the immediate effect of the acquisition from Microsoft last month, that this is kind of what we saw, that it would just be a natural evolution, that they would stop pushing for a yearly release just to kind of build up and make sure that the developers have the correct amount of time to build the new game. But apparently, I don't believe, for some reason, I take this with a grain of salt. It's kind of like 50-50 in my personal opinion, that the executives of Activision themselves, external from Microsoft, they have came to the conclusion themselves that this year's Call of Duty or next year's Call of Duty wouldn't be coming out, that they give the developers more time. I think it's 50-50, despite what they say. You can never trust fully the word of executives. I think that the backing of Microsoft really made this actually possible, that there won't be a new Call of Duty in 2023. So you kind of saw this. It's kind of like a come to Jesus moment, which Ubisoft had several years ago with the Assassin's Creed franchise, where we were just getting a new Assassin's Creed every single year, and then it kind of culminated with the release of with Assassin's Creed Unity, which pretty much launched unfinished and undone, and it just got absolutely slayed by reviewers as well as fans, but it still sold pretty decently. But yeah, I think that also this is really, not only is it only really possible with Microsoft backing, it's also the fact that Call of Duty Warzone is just like a continuous game that's available. So Warzone will still be available for people to play. They're going to be constantly updating that as well. So yeah, I think it's a combination of the Microsoft acquisition as well as the fact that Warzone is still available for their Battle Royale type game. A lot of people aren't playing Vanguard at all. They're just still continuing to play Warzone. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty light on the news for this week. If you guys, let me know what you guys think of everything. Question period. If you have any questions, now would be a good time to lay them out. As we await questions, let's just talk about just some channel update stuff. moving on for this week. So we're still playing Horizon Forbidden West. I'm going to be doing another live stream fairly soon after this live stream ends, probably at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in around 40 minutes time, we'll do another live stream of Horizon Forbidden West. Elden Ring. So videos and gameplay of Elden Ring will be starting tomorrow. I think for the very first time ever, Elden Ring might be a 100% live stream game. Just trying to test out some stuff, new stuff, and just kind of gauging of what's working and not working for the channel right now. So I think that Elden Ring will be a 100% live stream game, just so we'll play it together. It's easier to get up videos and to get a content really quickly, and we just sit down and have a nice chat as we play a video game. Still playing Genshin Impact late at night, so for all you Genshin Impact fans, those streams will continue. My review for Dying Light will be up on Friday for you guys to watch. But 5-day early access obviously will be for our channel members. So Dying Light review will be up for channel members on Friday, and then 5 days afterwards it will be available for the general public. And then for people who are awaiting Uncharted, the continuation of the Uncharted remaster, I don't have a firm date for when that is going to be continuing. Unfortunately, there are so many hours in the day, and as a content creator, I have to kind of prioritize series that are doing well and just prioritize content. I will finish it. I think I probably only have like 2 to 3 hours left of Uncharted, but yeah, it will get done. I just don't know exactly when. There are a ton of games coming up within the next several days that we kind of just have to prioritize content in what we are creating. So for people who are awaiting the continuation of Uncharted, that will happen. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the updates. This I will send in for, and I also want to let you guys know, I announced it last week that I did open a Discord server that you guys can join if you guys want live updates of when I'm streaming, just quick updates, also some background stuff as well that goes on the background. Sometimes I upload pictures of stuff that I'm working on onto Discord. This is a temporary link that will expire eventually, so you can join the Discord server if you want. And yeah, those are pretty much the channel updates. Let's go through your questions very, very quickly. Do you think the stretch of Call of Duty's games indicate the return of series going to single player campaign? The IP dominated with its beginning. No, I don't think so. I don't think that we're ever gonna. Well, let's just say that like last year's Call of Duty, several years ago, the Call of Duty franchise, I think there was a campaign for Vanguard, but was it the previous year's Call of Duty that didn't have a single player campaign? So I think that pretty much like I feel like now that they're going into probably bi-yearly releases of games, I think we can pretty much guarantee that now the franchise has enough time to actually incorporate a single player campaign. So I think that moving forward, we will never get a Call of Duty game that does not have a campaign, just because now that they have time to do so. Cat fam, please do not spam chat with the same question. We will get to those questions in a second. But yes, I don't have a girlfriend, but I do have a fiance. We're actually getting married this year in July. So, okay, please, you need a timeout. You need a timeout. That's not how, guys, that's not how you get questions answered. So yeah, I do have a fiance. So yeah, what do you guys think? Any more? That's pretty much it. I think I answered all the questions. Yeah, it was Black Ops 4 that didn't have the campaign. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that was I like. I don't play Call of Duty anymore, like the multiplayer Warzone or the multiplayer. I kind of look forward to the campaign just because they're kind of like quick bites and they make for good content as well. They're just generally really fun. So anytime like a first-person shooter doesn't get a campaign, I'm often disappointed. What do you think of the cable of the PSVR 2? I think it's necessary. I think we're still very far away from truly wireless experiences with VR headsets as well. VR headsets specifically. Obviously, the controllers are controllers. We've had wireless controllers for years now, and generally battery life is decent enough. But to send the required amount of information as well as just in general battery life, I think we're going to be several years away before we actually move to a truly wireless experience with VR. And yeah, I think it's a pipe dream right now to expect a truly wireless experience. Yeah. No, Jumi. Unfortunately, we are only having close family members to the wedding. So yeah, that's pretty much it, everyone. Thank you for coming to this week's side quest. Pretty light on the news, but in about 35 minutes we will have the Horizon Forbidden West stream for you guys to watch. But yeah, well, hopefully some of you guys can join then, and we will see you guys next week for some more side quests, which we will once again talk about the gaming news for the week.